Welcome to my channel. If today is the first time you are watching my video, kindly make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and do like my video. I would like to show you this simple strategy also that I call double TMA winning strategy. I call it double TMA because I'm making use of TMA double, I mean two of TMA with different setting, and the particular strategy is made up of a few indicators. We have the semaphore indicator, we have the beast indicator, we have a buy and sell indicator, PTL indicator, and TDI indicator for this particular strategy. So I'm going to show you the settings and how you can use it to trade profitably. This particular strategy is made up of both repainting and non-repainting indicator to give us a best signal. So I'm going to show you how to use it right now, and in the course of the video I will show you the setting for each indicator. Make sure you watch the video to the end to avoid asking questions that I have answered in the course of this tutorial. Now let's dive in. Now this is how I use this particular strategy. I make sure that I have the candles at the upper band of this TMA, this blue color, this Dodger blue color. I make sure I have the candle either at the upper or at the lower band, either here at the upper or the lower band. At this lower band here, either I have it here at the lower band or at the upper band before I consider taking a major trade. Though you can scalp with the gray color, with the gray band, you can scalp with this, but the major trend is determined by this upper band, because this is 4 hours TMA indicator. The settings for 4 hours, and why this is on the current chart. So this line, this TMA line, is determined by 4 hours time frame and not on the current, so it's more stable than this current one. So that's why I normally like taking my trade from the upper band of this TMA. Now let's move on, let's continue. Once you have the candle at the upper band of the TMA, Dodger blue color, the next thing you are going to do, you wait for the other indicator to be in agreement. Here we have the semaphore indicator, this 3 number here, telling us this is the end of the trend, that the trend is likely to end here, though it might shift. That's why I said this repaint or recalculate. It works like zigzag. And the other indicator you are going to wait for is this blue arrow, this blue arrow, and this repaint also. But the two indicators here, the black arrow and the orange red dot, does not repaint. And you now make sure that we have all the indicators either at the upper or at the lower band. For up at this point, we have all the indicators in agreement for sell. So this is the right point to place your trade for sell at this particular point. We have all the indicators in agreement, and when you check my TDI indicator also is also in agreement. It crossed below the two line, the green and the red, cross below the yellow line for a sell, and this is the right point to place trade for this particular time frame. So if you use this right, you are going to win most of your trade, because it is accurate if you follow the simple rule. And for a sell, we use the same principle but in the opposite direction. Let's look for where we have the double TMA at the same point. This is another one for a buy here, for a sell here. At this point we have another one for a sell. We have all the indicators in agreement at this particular point for a sell, and as you can see, we have a good run for this particular setting. We have a good run. The market went down, and let's move back again and look for a sell setup. Here is another one, another good example. We have a setup here. We have all the indicators in agreement at this particular point. We have the semaphore indicator, and most likely the beast indicator that we have here might be here earlier at this particular point. Here is the beast indicator, the blue arrow here, but it might be here before it recalculates or around this particular point. So this might not be, either this is a fake out or it is not complete, because the arrow do recalculate. But we have the three other indicators here: the semaphore, the buy and sell indicator, and the PTR indicator for a buy. But this did not deliver. We only have just few pips and a serious down move that is going to hit our stop loss, because our stop loss will just be few pips below the previous low for this particular buy, and we have this in agreement. But after the following day, after this drawdown, we lost this particular trade. We have another setup at this particular point where we have all the indicators in agreement, including the arrows, the ball, the semaphore indicator. We have everything in agreement at this particular point. So at this point you place your trade, and then when you look at the TDI, also we have a TDI divergence. This is TDI divergence. The market make a lower low, but TDI make a high low. This was lower, higher than this point. This is high low, and this is divergence. We have divergence on the market. Here is it, this divergence, and here this another divergence. This is low, lower low, while this is high low. So at this point, this is another area to place our trade for a buy, and what we lost here, we make more than double of it in the next trade. So this is how to use this particular strategy. This is how to use it. Your take profit, you can use 1 to 2 RR, risk to reward ratio, so you can use that, or you target the upper band and make sure you trade your profit as the market moves in your direction. So this is how to use this particular strategy. It is simple. Just make sure everything is in agreement before you place your trade. Most time, as I said, I like the 2 band to be at the same point before I place my trade, like we have it in the sample we add on 30-minute time frame, and here is it on 1 hour time frame. Again, we have all the indicators in agreement at this particular point. Here is it. We have the PTI indicator, the number 3 indicator semaphore, the arrow, blue arrow, and the black arrow. Everything was present at this particular point, and TDI also gave us a good signal for sell. So at this point, where we have all the indicator at the same point, almost at the same area, then you can place your trade, and stop loss just be few pips above the previous high, and you ride the trend, and here also we have the TDI indicator giving us a buy signal here. Then we have the number 3 and the black dots giving us buy. This is not a better place or the best place to place trade because we do not have the arrow. The black arrow is not present at this point. But if you want to scalp for few minutes or seconds, you can use this dot. If the dots appear at the upper band or at the lower band, if it appear at the lower band, there's probability that you are going to high probability that you are going to win that particular trade. But if it is in between, like we have it here, it is risky. But if you have it at the upper or the lower band, then you can consider taking that particular trade. And that's why I said at this point you can place this particular trade. And here at this point we have nearly everything in agreement here, but the black arrow, the orange is missing, the dot is missing until this particular point that we have the arrow here. So you might place your trade here, but ideally the blue arrow is missing, so you do not need to place this particular trade if you are looking for higher pips. But if you want to scalp, here that we have the two in agreement, the two indicator that does not repeat, and it is coming from the upper band, then we can place this particular trade for small pips and just get out of the market. Once you see the black arrow and the black dots together, you can place that particular trade. And this is how to use this particular strategy. Now let me show you the setting. I said if you change this time frame to 4 hours right now, we will not see the gray color again because of the setting. And let me show you right now, we only see the Dodger blue color there. Yes, it will only have the Dodger blue TMA band, and the other one is missing because of the setting. So I'm going to show you the setting that I use for this particular indicator and how you can set it up yourself, and you can play with this with the setting also. Yes, the same setting on US 30, my favorite. At this US 200, because I like trading indices. And at this point we have all the indicators in agreement. The dot and the black dot and the arrows are present, everything at this particular point, and the TDI gave us a good sell. So at this point you can place your trade for a sell. And here also we have everything in agreement and the TDI. So this is a good point also to place your trade. So this is how we use this particular strategy. It is simple and anyone can use it. Just make sure you follow this simple rule. You can use it on any time frame from 1 hour down, depends on the setting. So let me show you the setting right now. Let me show you the setting right now. So let's start with the TDI, the small TDI that has this gray color, and the input here. Just come to input, and the half length is 20. This half length you can change. If you change it, you are going to see the difference on the chart, but I'm using 20. You can change it. It's not compulsory. Use 20. Use something that you are comfortable with and set it up, and that's how I normally try to see the best setting for any indicator. Just play with it and check the chart as you do your changes so that you know how it look. And if you are okay with the setting, just click OK. Just make sure you change this one to current time frame. The time frame is current time frame, and the color I change it to gray so that I will see it clearly and I will know which band is giving me signal at this point. And this is the weight, which is 2. And if the setting is alright by you, you've done the setting. And if you want the alert to keep on giving you alert, please, you can turn this one on. Just turn it to true, but I don't need it for now, and that's why I turn it off. So interpolate, just make sure you set it to true and every other thing, and click OK. Then the second one, the higher one, the TMA triangular MA center band, is 240. This is 4 hours, and that's why when I change this to 4 hours, you saw the Doja Blue band there, but the other one you do not see it because I only set it to current time frame, and that's why it didn't show. And here again is 240. You can change it to daily, you can change to 240, you can change to hourly, depends on you what time frame you want to trade on. And I like trading on the either 1 hour or 15 minutes, mostly on 15 minutes, and that's why I set this up that way. Then the ATR multiplier is 2.0, ATR period is 100, the ATR price is 0. Just set it up accordingly. The half length still remain the same, the half length is remain the same, and this is the color that I use, the Doja Blue, and this is the weight. If you want to increase it, you can do that and click OK when you are done. Then the other indicator is this simple changer that I use to change from pairs to pairs, so there's no need to explain. In all of my video I've explained it how to use it, just watch it. Then the other indicator is this breakout indicator, the big blue arrow. This is the weight, and the setting is 90. You can change the setting, the signal depth, you can change to like 90, maybe it's stable if you change it, but this is what I'm using, and set it up accordingly. The overbought level is 70 and oversold is 30. MA trend line period is 10. Just set it up, and the MA you can change it to exponential, smooth, or linear way. Just check it and see which one you like and use it, but this is what I am using, and click OK. So the other indicator, not indicator per se, is this vertical line. This vertical line on the chart, this black line, this is just to show me where the current trade is, and I set it to one candle. Line style is 1, then line width is 1. Place line bar back, how many candle back? Just 1, and that's why you see it on the previous candle, not on the present one. This is the current one for me, but you're going to see it on the previous candle because I set this to 1. If I set it to 2, it will be 2 candle, so that this might be easier for me to see where the indicators, where all of them agree, so it won't be difficult for me to see. Once I just look at on my chart, I'm going to see where they all agree. It will be easier to place trade at that particular point. So this is how to use this. This is just the setting, and you can change the color if you want, but I'm using black so that I can see it clearly on my chart, and click OK. Then the other one, I think this indicator was renamed, is called buy and sell indicator. In one of my video before, I've shared this. It's called buy and sell indicator, and what you need to change it, you change the arrow period. This just shows us where the arrow is going to be, either closer to the candle or far away from it, and 2 is okay. And this is signal period, the MA that you can, the signal period rather, that you can change. You can change it to see if it gives you better result than the default setting, or the setting I'm using right now, which is 12. You can play with this value, and the alert, you can turn it on. Anything you want, you can do it here. How many bar do you want this indicator to look back, to calculate, so that it will use that bar to generate signal? If you want more than 2000, you can set it. If you want lower, you can set it, and click OK if everything is alright here. And this semaphore indicator, the 3 level, I turn the other color to no. I do not need it. I only need the major turning points. This is territory. The other point are 2, 2, 1, 1, and it's just since it repaints, it is not advisable that once you use it in between. So I only need it for the major reversal point, and that's why I turn the remaining one off to no, and this buy for lime and sell for red, and this are the settings, the period. These are the period. I think this is the default setting. I didn't adjust anything here apart from the colors that I turned to no. I don't like it that way. So if you like it, you can turn it on and click OK. Then the PTR indicator, you can turn everything on, like I turn it to none because I don't need the line also. This normally give us a line like a band that cross, two lines that do cross, but I don't I'm not using it for trading. I only need the dot, and this dot does not repaint. Once the candle close, it's going to remain there. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. The orange red is for sell and the black is for buy, as we have it on the chart here. This is the orange red and this is the black dot for buy, and click OK if everything is all right. And this is the setting. Before you click OK, just check the setting, and this particular slow length you can change it, and the fast length you can change it so that we are a bit stable, and it won't be giving us a ball or this signal here and there. It's going to be stable than this if you increase the slow length to like 13 and fast length to like 5. Just play with it and use any of the value that you are comfortable with, and click OK when you set everything. As you check, once you set check and everything is okay, just click OK here. And the last indicator is TDI Pro, which is not difficult. Most of us we are familiar with this particular indicator. You can change the RSI value to 12 if you like, and 10 is okay also. This is how I set up my own. I turn this to false, and because I don't need it, you can turn it to true if you like. The TDI cross arrows, if you want to, you are going to see it, but I don't want it. The arrow distance from price is 1.5. Since I turn all this off, it's not going to show. And these are the color. There's nothing to change here. The setting, there's nothing to change, except if you want to turn any of the indicator off, or you want to turn the alert on, or you want to change this to 12. Beside that, just leave it the way it is. Just leave it the way it is, and click OK when you set everything up. And this is all the indicator I use for this particular strategies, this double TMA strategy. I only added few indicator to this to make it profitable. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've not done so. If you like this video, just make sure you give me a thumb up. What I need from you is just thumb up, and check the video description for the download link.